everyone, this is Paul Gale from PaulGaleNetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today as we dive deeper into Sonic Frontiers. The following footage is courtesy IGN.com. It is known as Sonic Frontiers World Premiere Gameplay. It is June 1st, 2022, and we are about to check out 7 minutes and 9 seconds of Sonic Frontiers goodness. You know, yesterday it was pretty cool looking at that 38-second or so long glimpse of the game, but this looks like it's much more in depth, so let's check it out and hope for the best. And IGN first.
IGN First for the month of June 2022 is all about Sonic Frontiers. We've got gameplay, we've got previews,
Cool.
and we've got interviews from the developers who made it all happen. All month long, we'll be diving deep into what you can expect when the game makes its way to you later down the road.
That's pretty nice.
First
new
up,
already.
we've got the world premiere gameplay focusing on exploring the mysterious island that Sonic suddenly finds himself stranded on at the start of the game. Be sure to stick with IGN throughout June so you don't miss anything. Until then, here's your first look at gameplay from Sonic Frontiers.
Pretty nice. I like that you could run up that colored wall. We had some rings earlier. We got some coins or something there. Rails. Cool. Okay, so if you slow down in speed, you're now climbing instead of running up it. Okay, but you can still run up it, all right. Earlier, I was really focusing, trying to pay attention to see, as Sonic was gaining speed on the ground, are his feet still making contact? Does it still feel like it's, you know, tangible, or is some of that connectivity lost? But looks pretty good. We'll see if he needs a little bit more weight to him. Or is it just fine the way it is? Part of that, you know, we'll be able to determine ourselves when we get to play it and see, is he kind of floaty or grounded. The sounds there. Nice boost. Going through the purplish pink rings. The world looks like it will be a fun sandbox kind of thing to just run around and jump and platform in between parts. I'm curious how the mission objectives will be handled. What's the mix of story going to be like in between? That was pretty cool. That was kind of smooth. Sonic can kind of just do his own thing, running around, hop on this rail, goes seamlessly from this zone to that zone, power stomp down, run on a wall. That's cool. See, that's one of the things that was difficult for Sega to achieve, I think, when Sonic went 3D after a while. How do you keep this cohesiveness in a world while always going fast and not run out of space? Not to make it too much just on rails. What's that perfect achievement? You know, how do you balance everything? If they give you more to do and make the world bigger, which this world looks like it's going to be the biggest world, you know, to date in a Sonic game, they can kind of slow down the experience to a degree, make you think more, break up the action, but then also, be sure that there are some big yet tight-knit areas to have that high speed in between. If Sonic was a slower character from the start, I think the franchise would have had more hits than not. But once they went to 3D, maybe partially due to limitations of hardware and some of that also to blame of, the thought process or, how to deal with a fast character constantly. And that's kind of why some Sonic games have been more of a hit or a miss. I think most people can agree that they like Sonic. It's just you've got some that love the games and some that don't, and some that are kind of in between. Overall, I like Sonic a lot, and overall, I like Sonic the Hedgehog games more than not, for sure. Yeah. A lot of this is beautiful right here. It's definitely inspired in some ways from Breath of the Wild, as Breath of the Wild has kind of done for many titles in the last 5+ years. And nothing wrong with that. There's a little bit of pop in here or there, but that's hardly an issue. The game looks very pretty. Nice polygon models, good textures. Sonic's got a nice animation to him. Some light puzzle work here. Don't mess it up. No! You messed it up. You're supposed to jump to that last one. Unless if you can't jump right now. There we go. How will bosses be handled in this? Lots of questions, Here's that hamster wheel that we saw earlier. So Sonic approaches it, hops on, goes for a spin, and then it does something to the area. Okay, that was it. Dang, I wanted to keep on talking. That was pretty fun. Let's see. Let this trailer go by, and then perhaps we can rewind and watch a couple of those parts again. I don't know if there's any particular part that I wanted to check out or just give a couple of final impressions. Yeah, pretty solid. Not a ton to go off of yet in terms of, what's the sense of progression going to be like? What are you trying to do in the world, in each territory? What do the rings do this time around? What are those pink coins? How are bosses going to be handled? But of what we've seen, it's solid. I am definitely looking forward to it more and more as I'm seeing more, so that's a good sign. We don't have a release date or anything like that. We know that it's still currently set to 2022, so presumably it will be a holiday release on all platforms, from Nintendo Switch to PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, and the Series brand. If I had to say, right now, I think the game's strength is definitely seemingly having this freedom to run around in a free world with big open terrain, capturing pretty well that sense of speed and how fast you're going from one section to the other. And the graphics, nice, including the sense of speed and a little bit of platforming that you get from simultaneously, transferring from, or I should say, from smoothly transferring from land to rail to water to a launcher to go up, to climb up a wall, to go down, etc. Like, that's all a nice gameplay mechanic that, when you're dealing with high speeds, it becomes more difficult. I mean, look at it like this too. How many high speed characters do we have in gaming? Not a whole lot. It's easier to do Batman or Spider-Man than it is Superman, or Flash. It's easier to do the Incredible Hulk or Wolverine than, Silver Surfer, someone that's traveling faster than the speed of light and that kind of thing. Uh, and Sonic is one of these super quick characters that when you're putting them in a big 3D open world, what are you filling that world with? What slows them along the way? How do you keep that momentum and game flow existing and engaging? If Sega never made Sonic this fast character, you could have Sonic with a sword right now, and it would have very different gameplay mechanics, and it would be basically, their Mario. I mean, he is their Mario in a sense that it is their main mascot, but their Mario in that it's not revolved around speed. You could have different power-ups. It makes sense. You're not expecting to go fast, and you could fill the world with more creativity from a gameplay perspective, puzzles, platform challenges, etc. If it was more Zelda-like, you'd have that sword. Sega has done that before, given Sonic a sword, and have more enemies littered throughout, and you would have an understanding that, like, okay, you've got magic and this and this and this, and you can hop on a horse and travel. Instead, you've got to make Sonic's animation look like it's still cool as he's traveling fast, and worry about, is he too floaty or not. So I wish them the best. I hope that this is a first sign of, future Sonic games maybe following the same path. Maybe not all of them necessarily, but getting bigger and more polished. That's the path. Not necessarily from the perspective of every Sonic game needs to be this open world title, but just I feel like this has some extra polish behind it, and we have heard Sega internally saying they want to make this a high quality game. They're trying to take their time with it. So from my perspective, if it's in any capacity not ready by this December, don't rush it. Just do what Nintendo did and delay The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's sequel to spring of next year. Delay Sonic if need be. Hopefully not, because Sega, they have something great right now with kind of a positive resurgence of Sonic the Hedgehog. Many people have continuously loved the character and the franchise for years, but the greater world has kind of held on to him as this cool IP that they like, but they don't have a love for him because of the current games or the games of the last decade or something like that. But with Sonic Mania being solid, Sonic the Hedgehog movie doing really well, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 the movie doing really well, anticipation going around the internet for the new Sonic the Hedgehog CG series, and now this game having some hype behind it. Also, it's helping Sonic. It has helped Sonic, I should say, by being in the Super Smash Bros. Series for a few entries now. That's helped keep him relevant and, loved by more than probably if he wasn't in the Smash Brothers franchise. Keep the momentum strong. Make this game a hit. Continue to pump out Sonic in a positive manner. You've got some good shoe deals. You've got a character that, when you see people wearing t-shirts out there, kids with sneakers and lunch boxes and stuff like that, backpacks and so forth, and adults too. Mario's big, Pokemon is big, and Sonic is pretty big. I think Sonic is bigger as an IP in terms of overall liking him as a character for both nostalgia purposes and kids nowadays that are growing up with him, identifying with him and think he's cool and fast and stuff like that, then people, really love the Sonic games. But if you can make the Sonic games of a higher quality again, and you're nailing these outside things like the movies, the shoe deals, the cartoon shows and stuff like that, then Sega going forward has a much stronger Sonic than they've had in a long time, because it was really the early 90s where Sonic was really strong and respected as a character, which is what turned a lot of these people into lifelong fans, you know? So make people love the games again. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a elongated, non-intentional dialogue beyond the trailer itself, but yeah, those are my additional thoughts on Sonic Frontiers. Hopefully also, so if I gave a couple of my positives being, you know, the world looks big, good, clean sense of speed, progression between different things to platform, solid visuals. The con kind of is, what is there to do in between? Because so far it doesn't look like too much. And that's one of the things that we just don't know yet, you know? It's also one of the things that could be hampered by, well, the sense of speed. You don't want to have Sonic stopping every 20 feet because then that ruins the speed of the character. Nintendo doesn't have that problem with the Legend of Zelda series. In the Legend of Zelda series, take Breath of the Wild for example, with Link, you're supposed to walk around everywhere, stop, pick up rocks, and it's actually fun. They made the experience enjoyable in cutting down these trees, climbing up that path, blowing up that rock, swimming here, swapping between your different abilities to see, oh, is there anything that's magnetized here that I could pick up? Is there anything that has a stasis that I could whack to see what happens to pick up a Korok, etc., you know? And they have this big world filled with content, and it is slow or fast to navigate between, but there's always stuff to do everywhere you go. If Sonic has you stopping and going constantly, well, does that interrupt with the character's, you know, main main point, which is to go fast, gotta go fast? I think they could achieve both quickness and a good variety of things to do and pick up and see and scan, maybe. I think they can do it, especially if the map is bigger, then they could have a lot of that stuff to do while also not slowing you down because you're traveling for a quick time in between each area and there is a lot to do because the area is so big. You know, that's what I'm getting at kind of. And also the other slight con maybe so far, that could change, is enemies, enemy placement. Not to say litter the whole map with enemies and not give you, you know, the fun opportunity to run freely because like I said, I'm going to pick up this game. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm picking up this game day one and I'm just going to have fun running around playing. I still go back to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild because they built such an awesome world there that I love soaring, you know, with my glider or riding the motorcycle and just looking at my map and seeing, well, I've never been on this path exactly, so let me just put a straight arrow right there, throw on my Korok mask, and find something new. And here we are 5 years later, and I'm still enjoying the world and still having fun finding things that I didn't find before. And whether I find things or not, I'm still having fun with the world. If this is a good world, then I think we're gonna be in a good territory with it. All right, that was longer than I planned, but I had fun diving a little bit deeper. Let me know what you thought of this 7-minute extended look at the game. You know, we don't have anything like a health bar to look at yet, or, you know, a section of coins, but certain things like this, oh, very pretty, very satisfying. As you're running through that field, a little bit of a jump, birds flying by. Maybe you could follow the bird like you did in Ghost of Tsushima. Cool stuff. I'm happy. I'm not absolutely blown away because I need to see more, like bad guys and bosses and what are the things to do. But I'm very happy with it so far, and I'm just hoping for the best, you know? But here's to the rest of June and seeing more. Thanks again. Let me know what you thought. This is PGN signing out. Have a good one, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.